Hey everyone, so reading for today, I'm doing a twin flame reading for you all. I'm going to look at collectively what's happening with your counterpart, messages for you, and also what you can expect from the connection. Before I go on to the reading, I wanted to just wish everyone a Merry Christmas Eve and a Merry Christmas for tomorrow as well, sending all of you a lot of love and blessings. I was planning to do this reading yesterday, but I'm still recovering from a cold and my health is fluctuating. One minute I'm fine, the next minute I'm feeling quite rough again. So I kind of dipped a bit yesterday, but well enough today to be able to connect and do a reading. So I've already pulled cards. I will pull some in around what you can expect from this connection, but I've already pulled cards and I looked into what messages are coming through from your counterpart, what's happening from them towards you and this connection, messages for you guys, as well as the union energy, what's currently happening in that. I also looked at what it is that is coming through around what's being worked through, and that was the first thing I looked at. And for your counterpart, pride actually came out, and I really feel like this is to do with there's different things that I think are happening for them. One of them is them learning to love themselves, and I feel like that they have been I'm hearing the word engaged, very engaged in toxic cycles, patterns, which lead to them avoiding loving themselves, confronting their feelings, but also confronting things that I feel like there is some awareness in them, confronting things which they recognize as being quite toxic and blocking them from being able to pursue certain things that their heart is pulling them towards. This isn't only love, this could be career, this could be other relationships as well, such as family and friend relationships. But I feel like there's a lot of pride they've had, a lot of their kind of ego has been in the way, getting in the way of them being able to really open up and let in towards them things that they deep down know does fulfill them or will fulfill them and does make them happy. But there's this fear, and that did come out in sort of the union energy as well. There's this fear in them around really opening up and embracing things that deep down they know this will make them happy. And I'm getting through that this fear of allowing this in and embracing this is because there's a fear of loss. There's a fear that if they allow in what their heart is pulling them towards, and that does include towards a connection, being in a relationship or some form of commitment, there's this fear in them that they might lose that, and there's this fear in them that they might not be able to cope with losing that. I'm hearing the word stem, so it feels like this is stemming from something that's happened before you. This could be them having difficult relationships with parents growing up. This could be a previous relationship where they've been hurt, but it's stemming from something. It's not stemming from the connection they share with you. It's stemming from something else that has placed this fear in them, if that makes sense. When it comes to you guys and what you guys are working through, guilt actually came out. I am getting through really strongly for this, that this guilt is actually to do with family relationships. And again, I feel like for you guys, it's the same thing. There are things that are happening now in your life. There are ways that you might be coping, responding, reacting to yourself, to situations, maybe even struggling to love yourself and struggling to really strengthen the relationship with yourself. And all of it comes from, it's almost like this guilt you feel. You feel guilty for giving yourself more. You feel guilty around the boundaries that you have or haven't had in place. But I feel like a lot of this guilt that you're carrying has come from things that have happened in the past. And I am getting through, remember, this won't resonate for all, but I'm getting through this being difficult parental relationships. So growing up and maybe the way that your parents were with you. I really feel strongly a mother figure here. It feels like there has been things that have happened in the past that has really affected the way you feel about yourself, mainly the relationship you have with yourself. And there seems to be a lot of guilt that you're carrying in you, and this is something that you seem to be releasing. This seems to be something that you are working through, even if you are consciously doing it or not. I feel like it's something you're going to start kind of working towards, working through a lot of guilt that you have been carrying inside you. And I feel like for you guys, like I said, it is guilt that you're carrying stemming from something that's happened in the past. So then I moved on to looking at your counterpart's energy. So what's actually happening in their energy. And the cards that came out, I used my very own You, Them and Us cards, You, Them and Us deck. And the cards that came out were Sleeping, I Tripped Over, and I'm Scared. So the Fear card did actually come out. When it comes to the Sleeping card, I don't feel your counterpart is fully open, awake to their feelings for you, to the depth of what they want from this connection, to understanding that actually this connection is something that they want to pursue, they want to desire, even though deep down I feel like they know, really deep down they know that this connection fulfills them. I feel on the surface, you know, they're quite avoidant. I feel like they are not fully awake to recognizing and taking steps towards following what deep down their heart and their feeling and that gut feeling is actually telling them. And a lot of this is coming from their own fear. So again, this fear coming up in them, I do feel like this fear is stemming from the past, but I feel like how it affects your connection is there is this fear of, and the card literally says, you know, what if I get hurt? What if I hurt you? What if? So there's this kind of fear in them that if I step into this and if I move towards this connection, and if I go in and I open my heart up and I offer a commitment, what if this happens? What if that happens? And all those things, all those what ifs are the thoughts that are around them are mainly around all the things that could go wrong, and this is bringing up quite a lot of fear in them. And I feel like because of that, they do, it's almost like I kind of feel like they're doing it intentionally but unintentionally as well, because I feel like it's a bit of a coping mechanism. But I feel like this is why they then put themselves in this place where I'm literally shown a vision of when someone turns, it's a robot, my guides are showing me, and if you turn a switch, the robot literally, the head drops and they go to sleep. And I feel like that's the way they kind of respond to fear. It's almost like this, you know, when they get worrying about all the things that could go wrong when it comes to thinking about next steps, their feelings, actions, the way they then cope with all that fear is almost going to sleep, switching off, you know, where that avoiding feeling comes from. With that said, they have, it seems like that they have been quite a few times over the year, but I do feel like the last kind of couple of months in particular, there have been quite a few times where they seem to have got up to come towards you and then they've sat back down again. So the I tripped over card. So there have been many moments over the months where they have actually, that feeling they have, that gut feeling, they've got up and they've gone to listen to it and they've gone to follow it through. And then this has happened. This fear, this overthinking, the what ifs has kicked in and they literally trip over. They kind of sit back down again. So they've been in this place and they seem to be in this place where the sleeping card, I don't feel it's saying that they are asleep to their feelings for you. I feel like this is what they do when they are in this place where they start to overthink and they get quite scared and they have got up to make a move towards you, but again, fear steps in, overthinking steps in, and they then move into this place where they trip over, they sit back down again, and they do that whole kind of, the vision I was shown of the robot, they kind of switch off, they shut themselves down. So this is what seems to be coming through around what's been happening and what is happening with your counterpart, their thoughts, their feelings, kind of how they're responding to this connection. Now, when it came to you guys and what's kind of happening, financial gain actually came out as the first card. So there seems to be, firstly, there seems to be an increase of money. There's some kind of financial abundance that's going to come towards you, and I feel like this is something you're going to continue to experience, you're going to continue to attract. But I feel like for a lot of you, there has been this focus you have been putting on around creating more financial stability for yourself, and I feel like you have kind of been putting this kind of effort and energy into investing time towards that, and you are being told that actually financial abundance, financial gain is actually something that's already surrounding you, but it's something that's going to come towards you in an increased way, and it's going to continue to increase for you. When it comes to the connection and what's happening towards the connection, you got the overthinking card come out, and then you got codependency card come out. So there seems to be this kind of, when it comes to your headspace, you seem to be in this place where it's like your mind is on overload. You do think about this connection quite a lot. You're thinking about the past, you're thinking about what's happening right now, you're thinking about the future, and this is actually having quite an unhealthy impact on your well-being. So you're actually being asked to take steps to empty those thoughts, because it's one thing thinking about something, it's another thing overthinking. And I feel like there's a lot of you who are in the overthinking place. And that's something that I feel like is draining you. It's getting in the way of you being able to also recognize and enjoy other opportunities that are around you, because your mind is very consumed around the amount that you're thinking about this connection, but it is having an impact on your well-being as well. So you are being asked to kind of take steps towards emptying those thoughts, bringing some relief to that overthinking. You could do this by journaling, you know, things like meditation as well, whatever practices work for you. And then the codependency card. So one of the things that I feel like is happening with this, so this is your headspace. I feel like when it comes to your feelings, there's a lot of fear coming up in you as well. And I feel like there's a part of you that's fearful about releasing this connection. And I kind of feel like a lot of this overthinking is also connected to you manifesting the connection. And I feel like there's a connection here. You're kind of thinking about this connection. There's a lot of worrying thoughts, but you're manifesting the connection as well. So there's this extra thought you're putting into it. And through that, what you're actually doing is becoming more and more attached to the outcome. So there's this kind of need for you to almost try and switch off from thinking, including manifesting, you know, some kind of breakthrough in the connection, because what's actually happening is you are putting so much thought into it. It's putting this fear in you, and this fear is around you releasing the connection. When you're manifesting something, the key is to release it and just trust that the universe is going to deal with it. But there seems to be something coming through where you are fearful about releasing it. There's this kind of thought in you that if you don't, you know, invest so much energy into manifesting it, it won't come to fruition. But there's also this fear, I feel like, around you releasing the connection in terms of you moving on. You know, I feel like there's a part of you that feels like that if you move on, then you might be shutting the door to any opportunity occurring between you and your counterpart. But actually what's happening is all of this fear is actually draining your energy, and it's blocking a lot of new opportunities coming towards you, and that includes any opportunities with your counterpart as well. So the things that you're being asked to work on and release is the overthinking sorry guys, and the attachment that you have to the connection as well, mainly the attachment to what's happening now and the next steps as well as the attachment to the past. You know, I do feel like for you to be able to be in a place where you can work through releasing that energy where it is draining you, you are needing to let go of all the thoughts that you have around this connection. That frees up space for you to be able to offer to yourself as well and really focus on your own growth and development. Now, when I was looking at the union energy, you got, and interestingly we got tripped over for your counterpart's energy, but you got one step forward, one step back. You got the hamster's wheel card, and then you got the universe speaks card. So when it comes to the union energy, what seems to be happening at the moment, there's still a lot of limbo, and this limbo is around kind of where this connection is going. Is it moving forward? Is it moving backwards? Is it standing still? So there's this kind of limbo energy, and if this is something that has been repeating, especially with the hamster's wheel card coming out, this is something that has been repeating for some time. You might even be in a connection where your person's very much in and out of your life as well, and one minute they're in and you think it's going somewhere, and the next minute they're out and you don't know what's going on. So they're very in and out, and it's left you feeling again in limbo, very confused what's going on. And this is a cycle that seems to be repeating in the connection, and this is something that's still showing up in the union energy. But there's a lot of signs that are coming through with the universe speaks card. Firstly, I feel like the signs that are coming through is the universe is letting you know that this connection is safe. And I feel like the reason they're letting you know this is because, so you might be seeing signs related to twin flame connections or sacred connections in the universe, confirming, for example, that the connection that you share with your counterpart is a spiritual one, a deep one, a sacred one. And I feel like they're letting you know this to let you know it's safe for you to let go. It's safe for you to switch off from all the thoughts that you're investing into this. It's safe for you to let go of the attachment you have to this connection, the attachment to the outcome. Nothing will go wrong. Whatever's meant for you is going to come in, it is going to show up. The timing of it you don't control, but it is something that is going to show up. So there's a lot of signs that are being sent to you, and those signs are related to you feeling safe to be able to move forward in life, to focus on you and your own growth and development and your own happiness as well, without being worried about what's going to happen to this connection. This is the universe letting you know your connection is safe, and I'm hearing the word your love is safe as well. The other thing is, I feel like your counterpart is actually receiving a lot of signs, but I feel like the signs that they're receiving are actually to do with things to do with you. So this could be, I don't know, your name, your initials. You know, if your counterpart is someone who's into number syncs, they're seeing numbers related to love, relationships, following your heart. And I actually feel like there's a lot. I feel like they're getting more signs than you are. There's a lot of signs around them that are guiding them to follow their gut feeling, guiding them to listen to their intuition, guiding them to listen to their heart, because this energy that they're in, where they become very fearful, they come towards you and then they overthink the situation and then they switch off. This is them not following their heart. They're not following their gut feeling. They're not following their intuition. What they seem to be following is their fear. What they seem to be following is, you know, the over-analyzing, the overthinking, you know, that part of their ego that is creating a lot of blocks. That's what seems to be what they're allowing to lead them, whereas the universe is guiding them and showing them signs around what they need to work through to be able to follow their heart, to be able to listen to what their intuition is saying, and to actually act on that as well. So that's kind of what's happening. I'm going to take another drink, guys. My throat is still very dry. So the more I talk, the more it dries up. Right, my loves. I'm now going to look at what you can actually expect. So in terms of, just to give you a very quick recap, in terms of what's being worked through, your counterpart working through their pride, their ego. You seem to be working through your guilt. And for both of you, it seems to be connected to the past. When it comes to your counterpart's energy, what seems to be happening is there is a lot of fear dominating their energy when it comes to taking action towards you. There have been many moments where they've got up to come towards you, but they've kind of backed off again. And when they do back off, they seem to be in this place where it's almost like as soon as they opening up to their feelings and connecting with it, this overthinking and fear kicks in, and the way they respond to that is switch off. So they've been switching off from it. For you guys, there is guidance to work through your overthinking, any attachments you have, but the other message that came through for you guys was around financial gain, and I'm hearing the word financial independence. So there's definitely some kind of financial increase coming towards you. When it comes to the union energy, there still seems to be some cycle that's repeating, and this cycle is this very limbo energy, in and out, the connection getting ready to move forward, moving backwards. So still very stuck in this limbo energy, but there is a lot of signs that are being received from the universe. So I'm going to ask now what it is you can expect, what's actually going to happen. I'm going to use my twin flame connection messages to ask this. So what collectively, what's going to happen, what can be expected going forward in this connection? What can be commitment will be offered. Do you know what? I feel like this is why, you know, I said to you, I feel like the universe is sending you signs, and those signs are reassurance. They're letting you know your connection is safe. The connection that you share with your counterpart is one that is very deep rooted, is very spiritual, and you don't need to hold on to it so tight. You don't need to be so worried about it. It's something that's been brought together for a reason, and it's something that's going to move to a place of commitment when the time is right. And these signs, I feel like, are there from the universe, from the angels, from your guides, to let you know it's okay. You don't need to worry so much. It's okay to focus on yourself, because this is something that is going to come in. Commitment is going to be offered. What else? Yeah, there will be a successful outcome. Guys, I don't feel I need to pull anymore. You've got a very clear message around what you can expect. So even though all of this is happening, you know, and this is what's being worked through at the moment, where this seems to be going is commitment is going to be offered, and there's going to be a successful outcome. I'm showing this vision of a tree growing really rapidly, and I get the sense that what's happening at the moment is those roots, that strong foundation and stability is still being built. and you're building it within yourself. And that's why there is this yo-yo energy. You know, I feel like you are very much in your counterpart's heart, but the fear is getting in the way. You know, and for you guys, you know, that your counterpart is very much in your heart, but your own kind of fear and your own attachment that you need to work through is also getting in the way. And I feel like the both of you are still working on strengthening your own roots with that vision of the tree growing, but there's going to end up being a successful outcome between the both of you, and commitment is something that is going to be offered. I'm going to pull a few more around what you can expect, or what do we need to know around what's coming in, what's being worked through. Yeah, right, exactly what I was saying. Space is needed right now. So if you're not seeing any progress in your connection, if you're not seeing this commitment being offered, is because this space is actually helping the both of you to figure things out and make the right choice. At the moment, you know, it's not just one person. The both of you may be doing things, responding to the connection or responding to yourself in a way where you're not making the right choices. You're not making the right choices for yourself as well. Remember, this journey as well is all about you strengthening that relationship, that bond you have with yourself as well. And the space that you experience in your connection can feel quite painful, but those painful situations are actually helping you to learn a lot of lessons. And unfortunately, you know, sometimes life is such that it's through the pain and the heartache that we learn the best lessons. And so what's happening in this connection right now is actually helping the both of you to figure out what steps and choices you need to make that is right for the both of you. Yeah, trust is needed. You need to trust. You need to trust that this situation is a situation that will end up unfolding in a way that you're hoping for, in the way that you desire. And the messages in this reading is that it's going to be commitment will be offered and there's a successful outcome. But you're really needing to trust the situation. Do you know what, guys? I feel like the repeating and the main message for you guys here is let go. Let go of this. You need to feel safe to let go of this. It's okay to move forward in life. It's okay to go ahead and enjoy life, and it's important that you try and work through the attachment that you have to the outcome, because the current attachment that you have isn't actually helping you to make that right choice. What it's doing is it's keeping you quite stuck. It's keeping you in a repeating cycle with the hamster's wheel card, and it's having an impact on your well-being. And it's important that, and I really feel like this is one of the things that you are being guided to open up to and recognize, that some of the choices, and this is your counterpart as well, some of the choices that you're making towards this connection isn't healthy for you. And this connection does move to that place where, you know, it opens up this door for the both of you to be able to come together. But at the moment, one of the things that is keeping that door shut is you are not honoring and respecting yourself enough, and a lot of the choices that you're making are not healthy for you, and you are being guided and reminded and kind of shown over and over again what you need to do, what you need to work through to really strengthen that relationship that you have with yourself, that it is a healthy one, and that door starts to open. And it's really important that I kind of feel like the only way you're going to be able to do that is to be able to let go of this connection, because it is, you know, I guess a catch-22. It kind of feels like the way you're holding on to this connection is actually what's creating the blocks in the connection. You need to be able to let go of this connection to be able to then really step into and recognize all the things that you need to work on to develop that healthy relationship with yourself. What's getting in the way of you doing that is the way you're holding on to the connection, because there's so much fear attached to it. You know, there's so much worry about what's going on. So the only way you're going to be able to work through that is to let go of it, so you then make space and concentrate and focus fully on yourself, if that makes sense. Right, my loves, that is your reading for Christmas, your twin flame reading. I'll be back here again after Christmas to do a check-in love reading. So that won't be on twin flames, that'll just be an open general check-in love reading. And obviously on my Insta page as well. Merry Christmas to you all. Thank you for joining me on this reading, and I will connect with you guys again soon.